And we were just talking about how men never approach women. And I get it, it's nerve-wracking, it's uncomfortable, it could be like severe rejection.
Women have a hard time getting rejected because they are unfamiliar with it.
All these things. We were sitting there observing, and there was only one girl that was really talking to a few men, and every single time she was approaching them. So what is it? Like, what do women need to do?
They need to accept the reality of things.
I understand why my mom is 60 years old and still single and just said forget it, because that's what it's about to be. I'm just getting on here for all the girlies who are in their 30s. I'm 33, turning 34 next month, and I'm just done dating.
When men approach less, they can't help but retreat. This shows that even when men don't approach them, it makes men more desirable.
Like, excuse my language, but I'm done. Like, for a while there, I was on a kick for the younger guys because that was all that was hollering at me. Because I must say, I think I look pretty good for being 33. So I was like, okay, I'm done with the young ones. Like, they're too immature. Like, I'm looking for something more serious in life. They're not doing it for me. Cool, whatever. I reunite with an ex that I was with when I was 22, and this was like always the one who got away from me.
Here, she's chasing after the guy that left. He has a lot of responsibility and can't afford to approach her, and she doesn't like that.
Mind you, he is 3 years older than me, gonna be 37 in January. This man is emotionally unavailable.
That makes some women confused, and they hate that.
So they're too immature in their 20s, and then they're possibly still emotionally unavailable in their 30s.
This cycle just confuses them. Men now decide who the prize is. Blamed for approaching, blamed for not approaching. Seems like a lose-lose situation.
Is anyone else just tired of dating? I literally just sat in my car for 20 minutes crying because I'm so tired of pointless conversations and meaningless interactions with people that go absolutely nowhere. And by the way, no one has hurt my feelings. Nothing has happened to trigger this.
Exactly. Simply nothing happening can be frustrating because some like to be approached. So if nothing happens, it's boring for them.
Except for me just realizing, like, what is the point? Truly. Like, no one dates with intention and actually wants anything serious, and it's just like constant disappointment. And I'm just tired of having that negative energy in my life. But I also feel like I'm getting older, and it's like I have to put some effort into dating or I'm just gonna be alone forever. But now I'm just honestly getting to a point where I'm just gonna be the single aunt.
This made them realize that it's their turn to make the effort, because the effort needs to be done by both, not just men.
Women say this all the time. They're like, oh, I don't want to be bothered while I'm walking down the street. I want guys to leave me alone.
And that's exactly what guys did.
Tell me if you've seen this before too. Girls who are super, super confident, extremely successful, so pretty, like drop dead gorgeous, have everything going on for them. They're always single.
That's right. Men aren't approaching them anymore.
And then on the other hand, guys who are super attractive, confident, super smart, everything, they're always in a relationship.
The only relationship men truly want is with success.
Am I making this up, or have other people seen this trend too?
Everyone is beginning to see that men aren't approaching anymore.
No matter how much I love myself, how much I date myself, dating is hard. Dating is exhausting. To constantly put yourself out there to just be disappointed and disappointed and disappointed and nothing to ever work out for you is so mentally, emotionally exhausting.
This is what men had to deal with before choosing not to approach.
I'm miserable single, but I'm not going to neglect the fact that I don't want to be single forever. I eventually want to find someone, and to do that I have to date. Dating, to constantly feel like nothing ever works out for you, is literally like a mind game, and I'm tired.
The fact that men are going silent on them is draining to them. When they say they want a good man, they are still referring to Chad. The thing is, women pushed men away in one way or another, and most are not coming back.
This is for all my single friends over 50. Why do you think it's so difficult to find companionship at our age?
Because at that age, they are mostly settled down, and they're not looking for anything apart from stability.
It's tough. I didn't think it was going to be this difficult to ever find someone.
It is difficult, especially at this age.
just to share the simple pleasures of life. But man, it's crazy out there. Whether you use a dating app, I know meeting someone through another friend, that doesn't always end up too good when it doesn't work out.
Indeed, men know exactly what they want and what they want to avoid. So if they see someone they don't want, they will never approach.
I don't know. Maybe we've got to figure this code out. Are we wanting too much? Are we expecting too much?
Yes, that's it. When expectations are too high, men retreat.
I know that I'm not. I mean, at this time in our lives, most of us have our own dwellings, jobs. Obviously, we're supporting ourselves.
Exactly. Men have too much to be adding a relationship to the table.
So it should just be fun, companionship, laughter, and yet it's how difficult it is.
It's difficult for them to make men approach because of high expectations. But when they finally lower them, it's too late.
In your 30s is really such a bizarre feeling because it just comes in waves. One second you're on this high and you're like, yes, I love my 30s, everything's amazing. And the next day it's like, I've seen one too many pregnancy announcements, one too many weddings, one too many engagements. When is this happening for me? Nothing is happening for me. I have no prospects. What am I doing in life?
This makes them rethink their whole life decisions that led them to this point.
This is like my internal battle every day. I'm like, am I where I'm supposed to be? Do I need to move again? I don't even know. The only thing I know is that I don't know. To be honest, that is not the most comforting feeling, especially someone who is 31. Like, can I get a sneak peek? Can I get like a sign that like I'm on the right path, I'm in the right place? And it's hard because the like not knowing, sometimes it is so scary.
The unknown future makes them sad, angry, and disappointed.
Being single in your late 20s is a different type of single, and I didn't know what to expect. Because the last time I was single, I was early to mid 20s. I was 24, I think, when I met my previous boyfriend. And now the dating pool is different. We're living in a different world.
Times change very fast, and they feel like they can't get to men the way they used to.
You know, the world is no longer my oyster when it comes to dating potential and dating possibility. And between my severe increase in standards, as well as the much smaller dating pool of available bachelors, things are gonna get a little tricky.
It's like they have high standards, and men aren't even interested.
Hi, good evening, all my grown ladies. So, dating after 50 is much harder than I thought it was going to be.
One mistake is not dating for a while and thinking everything is the same. The world is constantly changing, so when they come into obstacles, it's hard for them to proceed.
There's so many obstacles. I'm not sure how to get around it. Do I continue? I don't know, seriously.
On the other hand, men are used to being put into pressured situations, and they know they gotta find the quickest solutions.
Make plans with someone, and then they cancel last minute.
What you want is out there. Do not settle. Do not settle. What the man that you want is out there.
With all respect, this isn't true, and this is not a smart move, because if you act like this, you waste opportunities, and thus they lose good men.
I don't care what you went through in your dating life. I don't care how many frogs that you had to encounter. Your Prince Charming is coming.
These things happen only in the movies and stories.
I want you to remain focused on yourself. Do not make everything about getting a man. Okay? Do not make everything about getting a man, because there's more life to live outside of that. But when you focus on the things of God, all things will be added onto you, because that's already in the word.
Focusing on a partner is as important, because if they don't, they will regret it later when men won't approach them.
Okay? And know that God wants us to be in a healthy relationship. The bar is low, and I need the bar to be like up high. Okay? Higher.
The expectation should be lower, not higher.
Men don't want good women. I will repeat that. Men don't want good women. Y'all are boring. So the morals and standards have to change. Men will say that they want a good woman. Men will say that they want a a woman that wants a good heart and will go 50-50 or hold him down when things get rough and he doesn't have a job. But then he resents her later on.
That's not true. Men indeed want good quality women, but if the woman has many standards, he will lose interest.
Because now he's looking feminine and she's looking masculine.
That's why men don't approach, because men like women who are feminine, not masculine.
Men don't respect nice women, and men don't love women they don't respect.
That seems like a normal reaction. If you don't respect someone, of course, he's not gonna approach you.
If you want to be the one that he wants, being a nice girl and playing nice is not going to get you there.
On the other hand, if she's nice and respectful, he will approach. Otherwise, no.
Stop saying stuff like, sure, I understand, no worries. And instead, tell him how you really feel.
That's a good point. Men can tell if someone is being themselves or faking it, so that's important.
I do like, I don't like, I feel comfortable with this, but not that. If he talks about himself too much, just start yawning.
That's a huge, disrespectful move if you do it mid-conversation.
Tell him, I feel bored. He will respect you because of your authenticity.
Not at all. We men dislike it if someone mocks us while talking.
And your honesty. And as he respects you, he will come to love you and appreciate you more. Because he's getting the real you. So stop showing up and dating how you think he wants you to be. You're robbing yourself of the opportunity to be fully seen and fully known by him. And ultimately, if he falls in love with you, he'll be falling in love with a fake version of you.
Instead, she can be the real her, but be respectful about it.
I've absolutely loved being single, and the 4 years I felt like were very necessary.
At first, women are happy being single, but as time passes and they want to settle in, and men aren't available, it shakes them in a hard way.
But I'm ready for a relationship now. My first year was very back and forth with my ex. The second year was complete healing. The third year, this year, is fun and dating and exploring, seeing what I like, what I don't like. Keep in mind, I was in a relationship for 7 years, so I felt like I needed a good amount of time. I didn't know it was going to be almost 4 years, but to really figure out what I liked and what I didn't like for my future. In saying that, I sometimes get down on myself, like, why haven't I met somebody?
It's almost impossible to meet men nowadays because they're more careful than ever.
When it comes to how men pick women or how men choose women, sorry, not pick women, but how men choose women that they want to have a long-term relationship with or be a wife with, it's based on their future, because a man already has a plan, a goal on how he wants his life to be, and he will strategically pick out a woman that fits into that lifestyle.
Exactly. Men have a habit of choosing a partner that reflects and completes them. And if that's not the case, they won't proceed. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.